That's right. It is the big show with the Flying Dutchman, joined by Shaun and Charlene today. Angel, of course, is away in Bali on holiday. Glenn is not feeling well, but it is a Tuesday, and that means it's Therapy Tuesday. And we have Dr. Geraldine Tan with us, and you're not in Singapore. Good morning, Jerry. Oh, we don't have your sound.
Dr. Jerry's on mute.
Good
there you go.
morning. Yes,
Good morning.
I am on mute. Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
You're not in Singapore?
I am not in Singapore. Yokoso, Japan. And
wow.
am in Yokohama.
Nice. Nice year-end holiday, I take it?
Yes, and just because of all of you, I've just touched down 3 hours ago.
Wow.
Braved the rain, took a train, braved the rain, and I'm here, and I borrowed a business lounge, a very, very beautiful space.
So
but I
nice.
have to be quiet.
You have to be quiet.
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay. You can shout therapy notes to everybody in the lounge.
Yeah, you might help some people there, You never know. What are we talking about today, Jerry?
We're taking stock of 2022. So year end is always a good time for reflection. And then when I was saying, taking stock, and then I was thinking of crypto and everything. I was thinking of stocks, stocks and shares.
Okay.
So did you know that there is a stock market psychology?
No. What's that?
What is stock market psychology?
It's not a clinical diagnosis.
Okay.
It's just how people identify their emotions, manage their emotions when trying to do trading, when trying to, deal with that whole stock market.
I've never understood how people can deal with the stock market.
Yeah.
It would drive me crazy.
And it does drive many people crazy. So there are 3 factors that actually affects their psychology. So one would be the investor mood. Market sentiment is the second one. And then the third one is our negative emotion. And that's the family trying to leave without me going shopping. Right behind me. So for the listeners those on radio, right? Oh no,
Yes,
the
we're on
boys
radio.
are going out, the girls are not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just walk past me. Okay, it's okay. The boys can go explore.
Wait, hang on.
I was talking about yes.
investors. Yeah, the psychology of investors.
Investor mood, market sentiment, and the last one is emotions. So negative emotions, especially when you're doing trading, there are a lot of different emotions that are evoked. Now, how does that apply to each one of us in our life?
So, Jerry, how does this work in our life?
Yes, so the first one would be our vulnerability. So how vulnerable, how open we are. Then for market sentiment is the environment that we are in. And the last one would be emotions, right? So emotions like fear or greed, that's for the trading. But for us would be when we feel negative emotions, we become a little bit more irrational. We become a bit more impulsive. So when are we like that? Or, do we catch when we are in such a situation when dealing with life's different situation?
Jerry, you talk about negative emotions. When we talk negative emotions, we think anger, we think jealousy, we think hate. Are there other negative emotions that affect us?
Yeah, too much excitement. So sometimes it's interesting because if you think about it, when someone is trading and you're overly excited, you can make a wrong decision. In life, same thing. If you are so excited and you're trying to push for something and you become a bit impatient, and you don't wait and pace yourself. So that can also tip the balance in certain situation.
That's interesting because when I get overly excited, I get impulsive.
Yes.
I get very impulsive, and I tend to make the wrong decisions because they're made on impulse. And then I live to regret it 10 minutes later.
10 minutes.
So I suppose that's where we want to take stock of our life to reflect during this period. We are just halfway through. Halfway through to Christmas. Just 12 more days to
Yeah.
Christmas, 11
Yeah.
more days to Christmas. Yeah. And then it will be the new year and it's 2023 already. So we really want to think about it. So we're going to look at significant events today. I'm going to do it a little bit like a group therapy style, just because we just finished 2 camps, a teens camp and a children's camp, which were resounding success. Thank you to my team for making that happen. So we did something called significant events. So for the teens, we did a little bit of psychodrama. For the children, we did art therapy. But just for us, because we are all on Zoom, I'm just going to do more the talk therapy style.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So all 3 of you have to think about 3 significant events that has happened this year.
3.
And for the
Wow.
rest of the listeners and for those that are out there, watching us on the Big Show TV, you can think of 3 significant events also. And these can be, I think FD was saying walking out of COVID, but
Yeah.
some of us really have a lot of themes surrounding health. There might be health scares. There might be us getting COVID. There might be deaths that we have experienced. A young girl, a young teen girl yesterday was sharing with me, beginning of her holidays, they were all recalled back to school, and one of her friends actually had committed suicide, and the school had to address it with them. So deaths can be a theme also that features in our life this year. Other things can be work. We know we might have changed work. We might have started new jobs. Moving houses. I know with the whole COVID, people were renting houses, moving houses, renovating houses. All these are significant events. Change in status or titles.
Oh.
You could have gotten married. You could have gotten promoted. FD is now
A lord.
a new granddaddy.
Going
A
to
lord.
be. Going to be. Going to be.
Yeah. Again. All these things are significant events. So what are our significant events?
Okay, it's interesting because I just jotted it down. It's been quite interesting. I started out thinking that, wow, we've come out of all the restrictions of COVID. That was a significant event. But I go one step back. I got COVID. Okay,
Yes,
Shaun,
yes.
what are your significant events this
So
year?
my 3 significant events that happened this year. The first one was my accident at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
So I was involved in a motorcycle accident. And because of that, I don't drive and I don't ride anymore. And public transport is a big change in my life. Horrible.
Yes, apparently you took the wrong bus the other day and ended up on the other side of the island.
Yeah, I still am trying to navigate this whole SBS thing. The next significant event in my life is getting a girlfriend, settling down, moving in with her as well.
Nice.
And the last one is my doggy, getting a dog and being a doggy daddy.
Jerry, if you don't mind, I want to ask Shaun a question on that. How has
Of
I know
course.
I know the girlfriend will change your life.
Ugh,
I know that. I know the accident changed your life. How has the dog changed your life?
That's a good question. I think I've become a lot more responsible. I've become a lot more like you start to think about, like it's like your kid, right? So you start thinking about other people's instead of yourself.
Yeah.
You start, whenever you go out, you think about like, oh, can I buy this toy? Does she need treats? Has someone brought her down to pee yet? All these kind of things. Yeah. So it's filled up my time and my space.
It's so nice that he says he thinks of his dog like a baby, and then he goes, "Has anyone brought this dog down to pee?" So can you imagine when he becomes a father? Every now and then he'll be taking his child downstairs to pee.
I will just leave her in the lift, only.
Okay, interesting choice of 3 things.
Yeah, these are my 3 things.
Shalini?
I only have
Yes.
2 so far.
Why your life so boring?
Yes. The first one I will say.
No judgment.
It's not judging.
Oh,
it's
no
just-
Why
judging.
The first one I will say it's going to the gym. It's something that was really daunting to me at the start. You know, like I was really overthinking the smallest thing. Like entering a gym was scary for me, but I made it through. The second thing I think was the biggest one. The first thing that I actually wrote down was actually my trip to Australia in August.
Solo, right?
I flew there on my own, and then I met my friend over there. But I think the whole idea of me traveling was already like almost impossible. Like all my friends were asking me, what was I doing in Australia? Because they knew how strict my parents were. So I pushed through that, and I think it was a really a huge eye opener for me. I feel like I changed a lot since the trip also.
Okay. That independence, that first independence, I absolutely. It's the big show, and we're with Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Dr. Jerry's in Yokohama, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So cool. We're talking about our significant moments. Shaun's 3 were your accident, getting a girlfriend, and taking your dog down to pee.
Yes, every day. I get up at 4 a.m. every day just to do that. No? And then I play with her just before I come to work. So, yeah.
Such a daddy. Such a daddy. And Shalini, yours was going to Australia on your own
Yeah, and going to the gym.
and getting yourself going to the gym.
Yes.
So when I came to my 3, at first I thought it was going to be, COVID, the restrictions are over. That was a big part of my life. But I need to go further back when I was in Australia in April and I got COVID.
In Australia, right?
In Australia. And the horrible feeling of being locked in a room.
Whoa.
That's just awful. That's the worst thing.
And it's not
ever.
even your room, it's like a hotel room.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot more.
Yeah. The other, it wasn't even my house, it's my daughter's house. So it was a horrible thing. The other one, surprisingly enough, centers around the World Cup. I'm a massive football fan, and Michelle knows nothing about football. She knows absolutely nothing. But during this, staying up till 6 a.m., she's actually stayed up with me and tried to learn the game.
Aww.
So spend time with me, learning the game, watching the football. And that to me was massive, that someone would spend those ridiculous hours just sitting with me trying to learn a game and trying to enjoy it.
Did she bring her popcorn just to watch the hot players run?
Actually, no potato chips, but yeah.
I was there looking at all the hot players, and
I thought she was there to spend time with me. Thanks, Shaun. And the other one was, I got news just a few weeks ago that I'm going to be a grandfather again.
Yay! Congratulations.
So 3 big events for me this year.
Okay.
Those are our events.
Lovely. Okay, so let's start with Shalini first then. So I'm going to throw out the questions, but you all can chime in. I mean, I just picked Shalini and then she went, okay, so I'll throw it out. So the first question that I would like you to think about is, what are our resources? So when we look at our significant events, who is there? What is there? So FD already highlighted, right? Michelle was there during the World Cup, staying up with you.
Yeah.
What else is there? So what do you see that is in that situation that is helping you?
I would say my friends. Yeah. Shall we continue this on the Big Show TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this on the Big Show TV, Jerry. So we're talking about taking stock of 2022. We've given everybody our significant events, and Jerry is now going through our resources, right? So you mentioned that for me, Jerry, one of my big resources was Michelle, because she spent time with me, staying up till 6 o'clock in the morning, watching the World Cup and trying to understand why 22 men chase a ball around a green field,
I still cannot understand.
The field is too big. I think make the field smaller, take away a few players, like maybe 5 aside, change the ball to like a
cube.
brown one, yeah, and then let them use their hands. Oh, that was basketball.
That's basketball. Okay, so Shalini, you were saying your resources?
I was saying it was my friends, both the
Which
experience.
significant? Oh, both experiences.
Yeah, so
your
like
resources are friends.
going to the gym was also a friend of mine that, like followed me step by step, like bringing me all the way to the gym, teaching me what to do. Even my trip to Australia, because it was my first time planning for a trip, going on my own, or even going for a holiday. The friend that I went to meet over there in Australia was the one that helped me throughout the planning, from booking the tickets, booking the accommodation. Even when I got there, she really took care of me like a baby.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, I thought of my third experience since FD was bringing up football. I would say my third experience is bringing my dad to his Liverpool match.
The one at the
so
Liverpool game.
Till this day, whenever I look at my phone gallery and I see images of that, I feel like a different kind of happiness that I've never felt. Like seeing my dad. He's almost 60 and he's behaving like a small kid. He was behaving like a small kid, all the excitement, just jumping around, really happy. Yeah, I think that was also a highlight of this year.
Yeah, he was a kid in the candy store
Yes,
at that
he
game.
was.
Yeah,
Also, boys, we don't grow up.
Yeah,
We
that's
just grow old.
that's true. Sean,
So
what
what helped you, Shalini? What helped you for the third one? What helped you to make it happen, to materialize this event?
The big show. Simply put, the guys were the ones who, helped out with getting the tickets for it, and I'm really, really thankful for that. And till this day, my dad will never stop talking about the match. Yeah, so I have a lot to thank these guys for, actually, this entire year.
Wonderful. Oh, lovely. Okay. And what do you think you had? What part do you think you had to play in all these? Because remember that you're part of the resources also.
Ooh, wow. I need to think about that one.
Yeah. It's not therapy if you don't think.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Can see
think
her sweating already.
Yeah,
like,
perspiring already.
I think being involved in everything and making sure that I pulled through everything despite being tough. And also, I want to say, one of the biggest takeaway of this entire year was the fact that I kept prioritizing what I wanted to do and what my needs were, which was not something I used to do. I used to tend to overthink everything, and I think that was what kind of went around the whole year with every single decision I made, every single thing that I did. Yeah.
So Shalini persevered and you prioritized. So that's your qualities and that's your takeaways for this year.
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's go on to Shaun or FD.
Sean,
Okay.
you haven't covered yours yet.
What are the questions
So,
again?
yeah. He just blocked it,
Blocked
what
it.
are your? What
I'm living in the moment.
Yeah. What were your resources, or what are your resources? Who was there, or what is there that helped you through your motorbike accident? So you can pick anyone, and then you can elaborate, or finally, settling down with your girlfriend. So it's not just getting a girlfriend, but also I think I caught the part where you said settling down with her.
Yeah, which is-
and yeah.
A very big step for me because I've always told myself that I wasn't gonna settle down and I never really wanted a pet in my life because I understand the kind of responsibilities it takes. So kids and pets were a big no-no for me. Settling down at such a young age as well, really a big no-no for me growing up. So this came as a surprise because all of them kind of happened at the same time. So when I finally met her, Michelle, we kind of got together only after the accident, and it was the accident that kind of brought us closer together because that was when we spent the most time together, and she really was there for me throughout the whole ordeal. And then of course the dog is hers lah, so she came with the dog. I mean the dog came with her, so it's like a bonus point.
She came with the dog.
But some days it's both ways lah. Some days there's both ways.
Package deal.
Package.
deal.
Want to buy things, must only shop on sale. Right? 2 for 1.
Okay, your question is going to be slightly different. I'm going to ask you, what in these situations was draining for you? So draining can be things like, something that drains your energy, bad vibes, something that is lacking within yourself, within the environment, limitations of certain situation, and also perhaps toxic people.
Ooh, I'll get fired, no?
Yeah. Sean,
why you
I
ask me
cannot
this kind of
scream
question?
loud,
Just- Yeah. Just
I
let
cannot
the whole-
even laugh loudly.
don't touch the toxic people, Sean.
Yeah, that's why I think maybe we move back a little bit. I go stun me. What was it again? Draining
was
people.
almost gonna
Yeah,
come
what drains you?
Oh, what drains me? I think people.
Draining.
Yeah, I think people drain me. That, and I think my life has been quite fun, and I always try to look for things and experiences to make the best of it. So like in everything I do, in all my jobs, in all my hustles, in all my different experiences as well, I try to do things that energizes me. So I try not to do anything that drains me so much. I kind of love all the things and every aspect of my life right now. So I'm very, very happy where I am. Of course,
Which is wonderful.
room for growth, of course.
Yeah, I suppose it's great, that you're very, very positive, but many of us out there might not feel so positive like yourself, so there would be this aspect where there are a lot of negative energy or something that is lacking, or there are limitations, and we need to identify those, because those are the ones that weigh us down a lot more, and we find it difficult to navigate out of that situation, because if we don't identify that, we get stuck.
Yeah. That happened pre-accident. So pre-accident, I think the thing that was interesting was also my drinking habits, because I used to drink a lot. Yeah, very sociable drinker as well. So that led up to the accident. So I think after that, and stopping myself from drinking really made a big difference in my life.
We're back with Dr. Geraldine Tan on Therapy Tuesdays. Jerry, what was the question you had for Sean?
Sean, right? Because he said that pre-accident he had bad drinking habits, and he drank, and he's a social drinker, and he drank a lot. So after that, when you had to limit yourself, did that change your social life? How did that change your lifestyle?
Yes, it did change my social life. I don't have one, so that that is the drastic change. So after the accident, I stopped drinking altogether. So that really changed a lot of my time, because now the time that I used to spend going out drinking in the evenings, I now spend with the doggy on her walks. Yeah, so like my whole routine is changed. I don't really hang out much. I'm the kind of person that, like, if you ask me, hey Sean, let's hang out, I'll say okay. Then on the day itself, I'll say, oh, I fall sick or something, or like I'll cancel plans. Yeah, so that's me.
Wow.
And how was that change for you, Sean?
It's made me a lot happier.
Wow.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And you never realized that you could live without the bottle, right? Pre-accident.
I mean, it's the bottle wasn't like the thing. It wasn't like I was super addicted to it or anything like that. It was more of the validation and the feeling of being together with people. So I used to, like, once you start drinking, you start socializing, you become like the life of the party, and you find your validation in people's attention towards you. Yeah, so I've learned to validate myself, and I learned to find things that validate me on the inside rather than rely on external validation.
Wow.
I'm very curious. How do you validate yourself now?
Now
Sean's
by
getting a whole therapy. Man.
Yeah, he's getting good therapy today.
It's okay, lucky I go through therapy, that's why. So the things that I do to validate myself individually, understanding my strengths and my weaknesses, knowing what I do good and what I can do better. I reflect a lot on like the day, and I reflect a lot on like the things that I am doing, all the small projects and the things that I'm leading. So that really helps me to identify like, okay, if I'm good at this, then I can find validation in this. So I don't rely on like a lot of times people saying, oh, good job or well done, that kind of thing. But I tell myself good job and well done because of the reflection that I've gone through.
You know, Jerry, it's very interesting. I see Shaun on a daily basis, 5 days a week.
Poor thing.
And yeah. It's why I keep having to get my glasses changed. But no, it's very interesting to see this change in him. And, you know, he hasn't really done it too much. But if he had gone public with what he'd gone through, he would be an amazing role model for people, for how he's turned his life around. This is not validation for you. It's just, it's fact.
It's okay, I'll take everything.
It's absolute fact. He would be an incredible role model for this change that I've seen in his life. And not many people go through it. And Shaun's fought to go through it, and it's really quite amazing.
If anyone wants me to speak at their D&D or their TED Talk or their old folks home, call me lah.
No, but he is amazing. He is very, very amazing.
True.
And I remember how brave you are. You know, you were worried about the image, because we're all very image conscious, right? And you lost weight, and you say, okay, I'll step forward. And you did a couple of things. You did a couple of gigs, and it was amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
I'm so conscious that I cannot laugh my usual loud laughter.
Why? We love it. Laugh.
No, but it's true because
cannot, because it's a public lounge.
no, but it's also Japan, where people don't do that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in business contexts, even in trains, they're very quiet. They don't use their phones in trains and all.
We're not allowed to use our
Yes.
phones here as well. I learned that. You get fined.
No way.
You can't talk. There's no talking on trains here. Ever since
you
COVID.
cannot-
From COVID, yeah.
Ever since COVID.
Ever
That's
since
right.
COVID,
That's
that's
right.
true, that's
But
true.
In Japan, is since forever.
Yeah, yeah. They're very quiet. Very
Yes,
reserved.
they are.
Oh.
I have to restrict myself so much. But I love all of you, so that's why I'm here. Yes, I'm going to go to FD now.
Okay, what?
FD. I've got the question for you. So you've got all these inspiring stories, although you were locked in a room when you got COVID, and a lovely experience during the World Cup, and that whole looking forward to be a grandfather. I guess pick one of the situation, and your question would be what the person, so maybe your COVID situation, or World Cup, or even being that grandfather. I think you were talking about Nicole, right?
Yeah.
What in these people helps us to better ourselves? What is inspiring about them?
I won't take Nicole. I mean, Nicole is an amazing woman. She's got 2 toddlers, and she's about to have another one. She's not only amazing, I think she's crazy. But yeah, anyway. But I will take Michelle, my wife Michelle.
Okay.
Because Michelle is the kind of person you can throw anything at her. She may cry, she may feel upset, she may feel depressed for a while, but given time, this inner strength comes out of her, and it's amazing, this strength. I don't know where it comes from, but she's able to deal with anything that's thrown at her. And that's something that I am trying to learn, because I am not as strong as she is when it comes to that. There are things that happen in my life that just absolutely throw me way off. But Michelle will allow herself to feel whatever she needs to feel, and then the strength comes in and carries her through it. It really is amazing to watch. Absolutely
And
amazing.
today, Michelle is inspiring all of us. So
Yeah.
she's taught us to feel the emotions, so not to be afraid, to feel the emotions. And also her strength, her resilience, I would say.
Yeah.
So she's now given us all that encouragement to just feel and be strong.
It's
Thank you, Michelle.
it's something I tell people. You know, people come to me with their problems, and I always turn to them and I go, "You'll live through this. You're stronger than you think." But it's only recently when I've been sitting down and I've been thinking about how Michelle deals with things, and it is everybody. I think if you dig deep enough, you have an inner strength that will help you cope. You really do.
Yep.
You've just got to dig deep enough to find it.
Yep. So if we look at it, right, we have resources, whether it's our friends, whether it's our family, whether, it's a significant other, it's our little pet, a kid. And we have qualities within ourselves, so we have qualities like what Shaun says, that strength, including their limitations, are our qualities because we grow from that. We learn how to be reflective,
Yeah.
and we learn from other people. So today we learn from Michelle, not to be afraid of our emotions, not to be afraid to fail, and to be stronger from that. So we've got so much to learn just from reflecting on our significant events.
Wow.
How amazing is that?
That is quite amazing. Absolutely amazing stuff. But Jerry, one last question I have for you. We've done all this. If we have people listening to us and they're going, I've seen these three events. They are negative events for me. They've pulled me down. What can they do now to build themselves up?
So, although yours sound like positive events, they're still learnings. And that's why anything is good to learn from, whether it is a positive significant event or a negative significant event. There's always learning. Hence, we need to pause and we need to reflect. And that's why when we look at it, we don't just look at positive and negative. Shaun has taught us we need to look inwards to look at our strengths because we have the resources within ourselves. Shalini taught us that we have the people around us rallying and we can lean in on these people. Right? And, there is a lot of strength, so we look at what is inspiring about them. We don't just look at who is there. We look at what is inspiring about them. So then it helps us to learn where we can grow, because if we say they have it, then we might look at ourselves and ask ourselves, do we also want to grow that part of us? Because we do have, but maybe, it's not as strong as theirs. And we want to learn from them because they inspire us, right? So, to learn from them is the greatest compliment we can give them also. Yeah. So having all these, we go into the next year, into next significant event, stronger and more confident. Whether
Nicely
it
put.
is a positive or negative event.
Jerry, we're running out of time. Do you have any last words for anyone?
I have a quote. So this is by Kazuo Ishiguro. And his book is The Remains of the Day. So this is spoken by a butler whose father is the head butler, and the father just had a stroke. But the Lord was having an event. So he still had to continue to serve at the event while his father was dying or has died. And he says, it was one of those events which at a crucial stage in one's development arrived to challenge and stretch one to the limit of one's ability and beyond. So that thereafter, one has new standards by which to judge oneself. Yeah, it's
I like
very
that.
profound, but what essentially he's saying, this event has tried the person, and we will face situation that tries us, and after which we look at ourselves with a different set of eyes.
Very true, very true. Jerry, thank you so much for being with us. Enjoy your holiday in Japan.
I will still see all of you next week, and I will be in Tokyo. So let's see where we
Live
will
from
land.
Tokyo.
Okay, Jerry, you have a great time.
Thank you, Dr. Jerry.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.